There's a moment many of us have experienced, though we rarely talk about it out loud. It comes in the peaceful hours, in the intervals between our duties. Maybe it's late at night when the world finally falls still, or early in the morning before the day begins. You find yourself staring at the ceiling, or out the window, or into the mirror, and you ask a question that rises from somewhere deep inside. Is this it? Is life really all working, paying expenses, coping with stress, waiting for the weekend, and then doing it all over again? And if that's the life we're expected to live until we're 60 or 70 years old, what are we actually aiming toward? That's when the idea of financial freedom begins to whisper to us. Not in loud slogans or encouraging catchphrases, but as a subtle request. It tells us there might be another way to life. A way where we're not enslaved by money, not continuously anxious, not always surviving. But the question still stands, do we really need financial freedom? Is it needed for a good existence? Or is it just another shiny ideal, something wonderful in theory, but unachievable or superfluous in practice? This question is important because how we answer it will impact the way we live, the choices we make, and the future we build for ourselves and our family. To properly answer if we need financial freedom, we have to start by knowing what it genuinely means. Not the commercialized, Instagram-filtered version we often see online, but the deeper reality. Financial freedom is not about excess. It's not about accumulating tremendous fortune, owning expensive automobiles, living in mansions, or sitting on a beach with a drink in your hand while the world watches your highlight reel. That's not freedom. That's a marketing plan. True financial freedom is about autonomy. It's the ability to make decisions that are based on your beliefs, your aspirations, and your well-being, not your financial limits. It's about being able to say yes to the possibilities that light you up and no to the ones that deplete you without fearing how you'll pay your rent if you do. It's about waking up in the morning and not feeling the pit of stress in your stomach because you're behind on expenses or stuck in a job you despise. It's about living with a level of confidence that you can take care of yourself and the people you love, even if life throws something unexpected your way. And most significantly, financial freedom is about recovering time. The most valuable, non-renewable resource you have. When money is no longer dictating your every action, you begin to regain your time, your choices, and your sense of identity. You begin to live not just from necessity, but from intention. And that transition from reaction to creativity is what transforms financial independence from a luxury into a genuine, life-altering desire. We often consider financial challenges as strictly logistical problems. Not enough money, too many expenses, rising prices. But what often gets forgotten is the emotional weight of financial hardship. Living without financial freedom isn't only about reducing budgets or working more hours. It's about the persistent anxiety that accompanies you home, the arguments that erupt behind closed doors, the opportunities you turn down out of fear, the aspirations you shelve because you just can't afford it right now. It's the strain that dwells in your chest when an unexpected expense comes in the mail or when your job security feels uncertain. It's the mental exhaustion of continuously trying to calculate, bargain, and live. And it's about what happens over time when your life becomes a series of compromises. When you can't rest because rest feels expensive. When you can't say no because no could mean losing income. And when you can't invest in yourself because every dollar has already been spoken for. This isn't just a financial burden, it's a spiritual and emotional one. And therefore, the goal of financial freedom isn't simply about money. It's about emancipation. It's about the human urge for peace, for possibility, for dignity. It's about rewriting a narrative where we are no longer characterized by what we can't afford, but by what we consciously create. In that light, financial freedom becomes not a selfish aim, but a genuinely human one, a basis for wellness, for creativity, for purpose. The route toward financial freedom, however, is not an easy one, and believing that it is simply sets people up for failure. It involves discipline, long-term thinking, and a willingness to go against the grain of modern consumer culture. It means avoiding the impulse to spend for status. It includes asking uncomfortable questions about your relationship with money, facing the patterns and beliefs you acquired, and often choosing suffering in the near term to build freedom in the long term. It can involve saying no to things you want today so you can say yes to the things you genuinely desire tomorrow. It can entail working longer hours now, or educating yourself in areas that feel difficult or daunting, saving, investing, managing debt, developing income streams. It can involve getting go of certain conveniences to establish a stronger foundation. But what's astonishing is how empowering the process gets over time. As you begin to take charge of your finances, something shifts inside you. You start to feel stronger, clearer, and more confident. Each small triumph, paying off a credit card, accumulating an emergency fund, setting a boundary at work because you can afford to, becomes fuel. And soon, you look back and realize you've not only changed your bank account, you've changed your mindset, you've changed your lifestyle, you've changed the legacy you'll leave behind. And that kind of shift doesn't just happen because you wanted more money. It happens because you chose to take back control of your life, one step at a time. Now, it's crucial to know that financial freedom is not the same for everyone. For some, it means retiring early and never working again. For others, it means continuing to work, but on their own terms, in ways that correspond with their values and strengths. Some people want to tour the world. Others desire to develop a home they never had growing up. For some, it's about having the ability to support elderly parents. For others, it's about giving their children opportunities they never received. There is no universal definition, and that's the point. Financial freedom is not about fulfilling someone else's vision of success. It's about defining your own. It's about giving yourself permission to seek something better. Even if the people around you don't grasp it yet, it's about stating, I want more space to live my life on my own terms, and then doing the hard, honest, bold work to create that space. And whether you accomplish full independence or simply discover more security than you had before, the journey itself will transform you. It will teach you discipline, clarity, confidence, and patience. It will show you what you're capable of. And much more than that, it will give you back your life not only in years, but in how you feel when you live them. So do we truly need financial freedom? I believe the answer is yes, not because it's popular or because it makes for great social media fodder, but because we individually deserve to live a life where our potential isn't restricted by our wage. We each deserve to feel safe, to relax without guilt, to dream without limitation, to give without fear, and to live without being caught in a cycle of survival. Financial freedom is not about having everything. It's about having enough to make decisions, enough to pursue meaning, enough to be present. And while the route is not easy, it is worth every step, because the life you're dreaming of, it's not a fantasy, it's a possibility. And that possibility begins the moment you decide to take it seriously. If this message spoke to you, if it made you feel seen or challenged or motivated, then I invite you to take one small step today. Maybe it's making a budget. Maybe it's paying off a minor debt. Maybe it's learning one new thing about money you didn't comprehend yesterday. Whatever it is, start. And if you found value in this conversation, I'd love for you to subscribe, share this with someone who might need it, and remain with me as we continue to examine what it truly means to construct a life of intention and freedom. Until next time, take care of your future since you are the only one who can build it. And believe me, you are more than competent.